there's an apology associated with this passing to your mother.
Jeez.
And I have to figure out why, but it's just coming through.
Yeah.
And it's very sincere, and the feeling is a reference of quick.
Yeah.
And there is a feeling of not getting that opportunity to say goodbye.
Oh God, now I'm gonna start. Here it comes. Yeah, my mom's father, yeah, he passed away, but he committed suicide.
I'm sorry.
There was a horrible, horrible event, and it was so sudden, and it was abrupt, and it was a shock for my entire family.
The feeling that's associated with this is basically an apology, obviously, for this passing, but also the timing of this passing.
Yeah. Yes.
There is an acknowledgement of basically apologizing about the timing, and he's showing me a calendar, and he's emphasizing the calendar to a little bit of an extreme extent. That tends to indicate that around the time of death, there's another date or a significant thing, and the feeling is like, this is not when I should have died, because there's this other significant
Also,
thing.
my mom saw him, I think, a week before,
Right.
and that always sort of bothered her, and you know,
Right.
obviously, and was something that caused her a lot of pain. So I think that I'm feeling that maybe that's what it is, like saying, I'm
Right.
sorry that the timing was made. I think it made her feel as if she could have done something, or
Right.
there's something that could have been said or done.
When we lose people to suicide, oftentimes we are left asking, you know, what could I have done differently?
Yeah.
When he comes through, the acknowledgement is nothing could have been done differently on anyone's sake, that this
Right.
was about me.
It was all
And
about him.
He wants your mom to have that closure, if there can be any, just in knowing that it wasn't about her. There's nothing she could have done, and that's important.
Oh, that is oh, that's so beautiful. There was no real emotional closure to this. So just the message that he got today will be ultimately extremely healing for all my family that watches this. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my mom out, because she's been watching and listening this whole time. She's gonna be so excited. Hey, Mama.
How are you? Oh, you're so beautiful. How are you?
She got a bit of like a laryngitis.
Oh, I'm
something.
so sorry. Oh, at least you could hear. That's good.
It was amazing.
So sweet. He came through with so much love, and I think his biggest message was just that apology. And
Yeah, that was important to me.
And the timing too.
It was so hard. It's so hard.
Oh, see, I
did.
knew.
It's hard. Yeah.
It is. It always is. But he's okay.
Good. That's all I wanted to know.
He's proud of you.
It's important. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And wasn't there a timing thing around when he passed? Like, you had seen him the week before, right?
I saw him 4 days before he passed, and he was actually, you said something about a calendar.
Yeah.
My dad was a calendar fanatic, like freaky.
Yeah.
And he had his calendar marked because he was leaving for Nantucket that Thursday. And that's the day he killed himself. And I saw him that Sunday before. And so the calendar had Nantucket, leave for Nantucket. He wasn't going to stop here, stop here. The calendar was like, you know.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, he was they always big in calendars, my mom and dad, so.
So awesome. Like, brought
Thank you.
such, like, healing and closure. Thank you.
It did, it really was. Wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
So sweet.
Thank you.
I have the sweetest woman coming through who is so excited to get to connect to you and has the biggest cheesy smile. And she's acknowledging that she was with you even before I got here today, and that she knew that she was waiting to come through. She's also immediately wanting me to talk about the wedding. She's wanting me to reference lace. The reference to lace is always for me an indication of like a wedding or wedding reference. It's a symbol. Now on the car ride here, I had a grandmother coming through, and I got this feeling that she was referencing to say, you know what, hey, tell my granddaughter that I was at her wedding and that I know about the wedding. She knows that she still prayed to very regularly. She talks about how she still talked to at night. She keeps saying, I love you too, I love you too. She acknowledges this because she's saying that it's been verbally said, like, I love you. I love you. I hope you can hear. And she's like, I love you too.
That's
and I hear
amazing. That's amazing.
But she acknowledges that. Please know that.
Well, that was, well,
Yeah?
I don't know what I can tell you.
No problem.
That was hers.
Okay.
And the music that plays on it was played at my wedding. And as
Wow.
it started, my mother and my father were on either side of me at the wedding, and we said a prayer to her, so.
That's amazing. She remembers you as a little girl, so she's surprised to see you how you are now. And she's so immensely proud of you and so, so, so thankful for everything that you've been able to do because you've made her so proud. She is bringing me to her passing. She's just going to quickly touch on this. She's bringing me up here. She's referencing to this. When they do this to me, this usually indicates brain or head. Or I don't feel particularly unhealthy, is the way that I would describe this. But she is acknowledging that something happened to her, like, quickly. I don't know what this is or how to even really describe this, but she's bringing me to head and referencing to everything changed after the head. I don't know if that makes any sense.
She had a stroke.
Okay.
And then she was in a coma.
Right. The next point that I want to make that we have to talk about is in the car right here, the same individual that was coming through was referencing to the fact that she did not want to be kept on life support and discussed that there was a situation about having to make a decision to let someone go.
I turned around because I had to make that decision.
She acknowledged that she knew and that it was okay that she was let go, that this was a decision that like needed to be made, and she was fine with that. She didn't want to be kept alive artificially.
That would be very important information for my mother, who had to make that decision.
Absolutely. So, makes sense. She actually knew that her hand was being held, and though she wasn't conscious at the time, she's acknowledging, like, thank you, because you gave me my permission to pass. So that would be her way of acknowledging that, because she's like, I knew there was no getting out of this, and I'm okay. And let me look and see what this is, because I have to talk about a younger female. From her perspective, she passed before her time, because I'm getting pulled over there.
Alana, she's here today. We are like sisters.
Like, they have a message for someone in the other room. Because from that direction, there's an acknowledgement of cancer, but there's a whole feeling that comes through with this of basically a feeling of there being a rush to get to someone's bedside. And there's a feeling of needing it to be known that this individual, and it's coming through from that room, was physically holding on at the time that she passed away. There's like a rush. I needed someone to tell me it's okay for me to go, like I can transition, I'm okay with this. But it's very distinctly coming through as an appreciation for being told, like, you don't have to hold on. She's also having me highlight a reference to the month of December. For some reason, referencing to a significant date in the month of December, they're having me highlight basically around the holidays. And they're really putting a heavy significance for some reason. And then she refers to a knowledge of 3 people, and she refers to them there. So I don't know why.
She refers to a knowledge of 3 people?
Knowledge of 3 people. So I don't know why all that's popping in.
Should we ask?
Sure, we can ask.
Alana.
Yes.
Sense.
It makes sense. My sister passed away, and we found out she had cancer in December. She died with her 2 kids.
She was pregnant with twins when she found out she had cancer.
Yeah, it was a pretty traumatic event.
All 3 of them passed together. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, let's see where we got this. Okay, so who has the AC initials?
Oh my God.
Because there's like a specific emphasis on like the AC thing.
She died in Atlantic City.
Oh.
She lived in Atlantic City for a long time.
She's just showing me AC, like AC.
She loved it out there.
Wow.
Yeah, David. And I just went to Atlantic City a couple days ago.
Wow.
And I thought about her.
Wow.
And I was telling everybody that my aunt used to live here, and it just reminded me of her.
She is referencing very strongly to a baby. This is interesting. She's talking about the fact that there's been a birth since she's passed.
Yes.
That she actually helped assist on the other side.
Really?
And she acknowledges that she was actually helping this birth go in the right way. She's acknowledging that there was a bit of a susceptibility to the actual placement of that child being an issue, and that she was there when it happened.
I'm freaking out. This is crazy.
She's 100% aware of it, and she was there as this was happening.
Oh my God.
So she's so incredibly proud of that birth.
It's my boy, my little boy.
Yeah, she's aware.
And he was sitting straight up Indian style in my belly, and he was gonna come out like butt first. And they had to do a C-section because I was gonna have a natural birth at home. And I'm glad that I didn't, because it could have been dangerous.
Absolutely, and she knew that.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
So I think for her, it was really important to have that support, but she was aware of that issue, and she's with that little boy every single day.
That's so cool.
Absolutely. In a big way, I think that truly, though her life was cut short, she lives vicariously through you.
Oh my
Being able to
God.
see your amazing career and your amazing life, and she's with that and with you as you go through that, because she would think that was so cool.
Totally.
So cool, like she's just so
I always say that she would, if she was alive, she would be right next to me in every picture, on every red carpet.
Yeah.
It's so her.
Yeah.
She totally would have been living this with me.
Absolutely. And she is, in her own way.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I knew she was watching down on her. I knew that she was part of her, that she's here with us.